What's up, LDBC? It's the boxing coming back with the truth. We have crazy stuff going on with Muhammad Ali passing away. I didn't do a video. Seen everybody else giving tribute. I do want to give tribute to the greatest, to one of the greatest of all time, because that's what I want to talk about today. As fans of a sport, you have greats and you have other greats. As a fan of the sport, you have to. This is one of the most important things to me. Remembering that everybody have their time, and there's an era. It's Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time outside the ring. With the combination, but there really isn't a comparison. I don't want to get into the comparing him to other fighters because you can't, and that's what this video is about today. You have to remember that everybody have their era. Everybody have their era. When it comes to boxing, Muhammad Ali was what? I'm not gonna say he was a good boxer. He could box, but he faced he has been beaten. And not saying that that's a bad thing because he came back and avenged his losses and stuff. But with that sense, you got to be sober minded about this thing. You can't let emotions and feelings cloud you. When we start talking about who we think the best boxer of all time was, we really can't. We have to look at that stuff. We have to look at statistics and everything else because that's what it boils down to, and that's just that. At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. Now you got Muhammad Ali was a great man. He was more than just a boxer, and that was make him great. But on the topic of boxing, the people doing this Muhammad Ali compared to compare him to Floyd Mayweather. I'm gonna squash that right there. When it comes to boxing, Floyd was the best that there ever was. Okay, let's just tell the truth. So far, he was the best that there ever was. 49-0, beat a pound for pound fighter in Shane Mosley, beat a pay-per-view king at a time, or the money king of his era in the 90s, or not in the 90s, but beat Oscar De La Hoya. Come on, man. It's not a lot of people who can. At the time, Shane Mosley was the one of the most feared welterweights that there was. So, I mean, you have to think about that kind of stuff. Beating Hit Manhattan at a time when he was undefeated. Then coming, people appreciate Floyd a lot more when it ate with time. They appreciate him more. But I don't think they appreciate I don't think they just appreciate it, man. I just really don't. You have somebody who is, Muhammad Ali was in a whole different weight class too. That's another thing. You really can't base greatness. Max Kellerman is an idiot, okay? He obviously does not know much about, boxing, or I'm not really sure. Because, it's no way you can tell me Manny Pacquiao is great because he moved up weight classes. He was knocked out at flyweight. He was knocked out at, what was it, bantamweight or lightweight? So one of those weights, man. He was knocked out, like twice, actually. So, come on, man. Then he has a whole bunch of losses. Not saying that, losses make you bad or whatever, but he's been knocked out 3 times, I know. So you have to consider that stuff. I don't care how many times you move up. If you move up, if I move up 5 times and you move up, 8 times, hey, that's good for you. That's good for you. But at the end of the day, That really didn't compare to moving up 5 times and never being stopped and beating the most competitive people who's supposed to beat you. This is the thing. To my knowledge, Manny Pacquiao has never fought anybody who was almost half his age younger than him. Floyd Mayweather has. You got Canelo versus Floyd Mayweather, which Canelo was way younger than him. So that stupid excuse that people use all the time, oh, Juan Manuel, they were old. Zab Judah was old. Shane Mosley was old. It's really annoying, man, because you deplete that, and I'm not depleting what Muhammad Ali did because he was great outside the ring, as good as he was in the ring. You know, he had his own greatness, but don't deplete what somebody else does. Okay, don't deplete. You don't have to put down uh, Floyd Mayweather and him actually being the best boxer to the knowledge of boxers so far. You don't put that down just because. I mean, honestly, you have to be real with yourself. Floyd Mayweather is even retired at 40 years old is favored to beat everybody within from 160 pounds to 140 pounds. He's favored to beat them. Actually, the 135, if he might still be able to make that weight or whatever. But still, like I said, so don't deplete it. Really, don't deplete it. I think that's another thing, man. Realize and change. This is one thing that I've thought about. Realizing the change that comes with these sports. 1 minute you had it, let's just start at Julius Erving. From Julius Erving, it goes to from Julius Erving. The next best goes to Magic Johnson. From Magic Johnson to Michael Jordan. From Michael Jordan to Kobe. To Kobe to LeBron. Now from LeBron to Steph Curry. Actually, well, in between LeBron, I think it was like I would say Kevin Durant. But then Steph Curry. So, things change, and we have to understand that. There's no way you cannot tell me. I mean, Muhammad Ali have a good resume, but when it comes to just Floyd resume altogether, there's nobody who have any better achievements. Nobody can say that they've achieved it as much, and so stop it, man. You have to pay homage where it's due. Give everybody their just due. Okay. Now outside of the ring, Muhammad Ali had a much bigger impact than Floyd Mayweather has. Much bigger impact. Much bigger impact. A very, you can get poetic about it. Much bigger impact. But on the topic of boxing, you know, who can come against? I would like somebody to come against by saying Muhammad Ali is better than Floyd Mayweather. Not better, but that his resume is better. How can you say that? What he has people on his resume that are good for his weight limit, but Floyd Mayweather have people that is good on his, and I mean never been beat, and have fought in excellent fighters, Hall of Famers. I know he got like 6, 7 Hall of Famers, 6 Hall of Famers at least on his resume. 6 Hall of Famers at least. The only person that's a Hall of Famer he haven't fought yet of his era or kinda is Tim Bradley. That's the only person. That's what I think. I think Tim Bradley would deserve a 50th fight if they did it. That way he could end his career with his 50th fight with another Hall of Famer. But come on, man, just man, it's a plethora of names you could go on about. A plethora when it comes to Floyd. So just don't even do the comparisons. Everybody have their time, like I said. And this is one thing that people are, starting to really become sensitive about it. It's just a fact. Everybody have their time. Muhammad Ali, I mean not Muhammad Ali, but it might be a basketball player that's going to be better than Jordan. You know, just like something 78 Sports was saying about Ray Allen. Ray Allen was my favorite. That whole Celtics dream team was just crazy at a time, man. You had Paul Pierce, you had Ray Allen, you had Kevin Garnett. That used to be my favorite team. But now you got Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. I can't hate on them because of that. I can't hate on them because of that. You know, just like you had back in the day, you had Gary Payton and Sean Kemp and Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and then it progressed to. And I'm using basketball because it's a good one to use. It progressed to Shaq and Kobe, or you know, however you want to do it. But you have to remember things change. You can't stay in the same place forever, and greats change. I'm sorry, but greats do change. Impacts do change. You can never give a man so much credit to the point to where you never willing to give anyone else credit where it's due. And that's what I think I've learned is that things do change. You know, things change to the point to where maybe you feel like somebody else is good, but you block yourself from giving they full what they really deserve because you already have it made up in your mind that somebody else is better, which you can't prove. So that's why I don't really get into the greatest of the era thing. I don't really get into all of that because at the end of the day, ain't no boxer with the same accomplishments as Floyd Mayweather. It's no boxer out there. None, not one. So I don't get into it because what it becomes instead of it being about boxing and what's going on in the ring, it becomes well, look what he did for this, that, look what he stood for. No, we're not talking about what he stood for. Let's just tell the truth. If you're gonna be on the subject, stay on topic. And that's addressing what's been going on and spreading around in the LDBC as it just kicked off with Muhammad Ali passing away. That people have had a lot of problems with dealing with that. You know, a lot of problems. It's no need to get emotional over it because you have to learn to stay in the same area. If we're talking about boxing, we're talking about boxing. That's another thing. Like, one of the reasons I like Adrian Broner may not have the best lifestyle. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen him do anything crazy yet so far, but he may not have had the best lifestyle. But when it comes to being in the ring, he's doggone good. He's doggone good, man. Shoot, I wouldn't be able to get in there and fight him. You know, he's good. And the thing is, you can see things he need to work on that he can improve. You know, so like I'm saying, man, just greatness isn't about what you can't sell people short. You can't sell yourself short. You can't develop a standard where it has to be exactly imitated of somebody else for it to be great. So you can't say greatness died with the greatest because you know he was the greatest at outside the ring so far. His impact was tremendous, but when it comes to in the ring, you got somebody, and this is why I'm getting the way I am about it, because you got somebody like Floyd Mayweather who's still there, and that's greatness. Bernard Hopkins is still here. That's greatness. And honestly, I know this is gonna be controversy, but Bernard Hopkins ain't even on the same echelon with Floyd Mayweather when it comes to achievements, and that is provable. There's really nobody in boxing history. It's provable. There's been good boxers, but he's been the best boxer so far. You know, hey, look, just this is the thing. If there's another boxer that comes up and goes undefeated longer than Floyd Mayweather have, with the same resume, not the same, but with, like, fighting people within his class, within the Hall of Famers as he is, then hey, they'll be better. And that's just, I'm sorry, that's just a fact. That's just a fact. If somebody who can land, punches like he did, he had like what 50% punch land. So you have to learn to separate. We bring in something that Muhammad Ali was a boxer. He lived as a boxer, but outside the ring was where he was greatest. He was greater outside the ring than he was in the ring. And you have to understand that. Now, I'm sorry if anybody is offended by that, but that's just the truth. And you can't go if that's fact. Everything I'm saying is factual. It's factual. He was the greatest outside the ring. That's where more of his greatness was outside the ring than in the ring. Wow, we don't appreciate things till they're gone. There were people back then in the same era with Muhammad Ali who did not like him. People hated Muhammad Ali. And now the next generation after Muhammad Ali will go back and see what he's doing. And, oh man, he was great. He stood for this. He stood for that. But you don't even appreciate the guys that are in your era. You don't even appreciate the guys that came from your era. The same guys that were fighting in the 90s and 80s and stuff. You don't appreciate it. By giving him a merit of such high standard that nobody else can achieve it. What is that? Now how am I supposed to be great if he's the only one who can be great? You have to think about that stuff. But like I said, peace, LDBC. Y'all have a really good week. Whatever you're doing, man, just enjoy yourselves. The playoff. I'm gonna do some videos on the playoffs too, but I just want to touch on that topic of greatness. So, peace.